Let's hear it. Please introduce yourself in your best Mandarin.
Wonderful. 你好，我的名字是 Caroline，但是我的中文名字是李水。我是 eChineseLearning 的学生，我很喜欢在 eChineseLearning 学习，因为老师他们都很聪明，他们每天和我说话，我们可以联系在一起，我们是朋友，我觉得这样的，所以我很喜欢在 eChineseLearning。你想学中文的时候，我觉得你要用 eChineseLearning 是最好的，最好的，非常好的。我很喜欢 eChineseLearning，我爱我的 eChineseLearning 的老师，我爱你们，我爱中国，我爱 eChineseLearning。
That was amazing. That was more than I ever hoped for. Thank you, Caroline. It's so good to see you and hear from you. First, I would like to know what first sparked your interest in learning Chinese?
Yes, so I always had an interest in different cultures and languages, and as a child, on my bucket list was to learn Mandarin Chinese, and I never thought one day that would be possible for me to do so. So I first started, to be honest, I went to Saturday and Sunday schools here based in Montreal, and it didn't work for me. It was 40 students, one teacher. The concept didn't work for me until I was introduced to eChineseLearning, and by actually a family member of mine, my brother, who also speaks the language, and he said, you should try eChineseLearning. It's a language to learn. And I started learning with eChineseLearning, and I loved it. I always loved the culture. I loved the food. I loved the people. And next thing you know, I moved to China for a bit, and I loved the country and everything about it. So it was just, and once I was there, it helped me learn more and about the culture and the language. I'd been there before without learning the language and not knowing much about it. And my dream was to go back there and to go to a Chinese restaurant and order using Mandarin Chinese. And I was able to do that thanks to eChineseLearning and among other things.
Wow. So you said you always wanted to learn it. Was there like one key reason that you just wanted to learn Chinese?
I just love the culture. It was obviously
Okay.
raised in Montreal. I grew up around very multicultural. It's a very multicultural city, so I had that exposure. And it was always one of those languages you would hear people talk and think, oh, it's one of those hard languages to learn. And
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
love the challenge of a hard language to learn. I speak a few languages myself. Of course, being from Montreal, French is inevitable. We speak it as well. But to say I want to learn Chinese, like Mandarin, was like a big on top of my list. My brother encouraged me as well, so we both embarked on that. Embarked on that, I guess, Chinese journey and started learning the language.
So it was this idea of a challenge for you. You thought
Yes,
that's
definitely.
going to be challenging.
First, it was a language I wanted to learn, and as I started learning it and speaking it, I fell in love with how smart of a language it is, grammatically and everything. Like even you look at the numbers, how they calculate everything is mathematically inclined. So it was just such a smart language. I fell in love more and more with the language as I was learning it. So it started as a challenge, and I fell in love with the language, for sure.
Okay. Where do you see Chinese taking you? What are your hopes for learning
Well,
Chinese?
definitely. I mean, I've had many opportunities. I am currently a video editor, and I also make videos to teach Chinese kids English. And I want to create a culture bridge between Canada and China, and just all of us to be like one world kind of concept. So that's my hopes for it. Of course, I also learned some Chinese music just to be more in touch with the culture. I love the food, I love the cooking. So just to create a culture bridge between both cultures, it's one of my biggest goals for sure.
Nice. And you mentioned music and movies. Do you use it purely for entertainment, or do you find that these help you learn as well?
Oh, definitely. So with my teachers, one thing they do is they know that I love to sing. I'm not a professional singer, but I just love to sing, and they make an effort to teach me new songs, pop music, from traditional pop music, from Teresa Tang to Wong Li Home. So it's just all those things that I love to do that helps me throughout my journey of learning the language. So it doesn't make it less fun, it makes it more fun because I love to sing, I love to cook. So I get to learn new recipes, watch TV shows. So it definitely helps me with my journey for sure.
Okay. And what would you tell other people that really want to get started learning Chinese but don't know how, and maybe they're intimidated? What message would you give them?
I have a lot of friends, a lot of people I just meet across, and I tell them, go for eChineseLearning. I've tried all different methods, and it's the way it works. It worked for me, and people tell me I'm scared. It's a hard language to learn. I had difficulties along the way. I'm not as visual, so for me, learning characters was the hard thing to do, but my teachers helped me learn 5 new characters a day. So yes, it is not the easiest language to learn, but if you use the right tools, the one-on-one approach, the teacher who knows you, follows you every step of the way, you'll get there and you'll be able to learn it. It's feasible. It's not easy, but you shouldn't give up for sure.
Okay. You said that you're not a visual learner?
Yes, exactly. I'm auditory, yes.
Okay, you're auditory. And that's why you chose songs. They teach you
Exactly,
songs. Okay.
exactly. That's why I chose songs to help me learn as well. And the best thing with my school is we get that opportunity to communicate with the teachers. A lot of schools you go to on weekends, it's just one teacher talking and 40 students. You don't get
Hmm.
that approach to talk. The first thing that my teachers make me do is tell me about your day. How was your weekend? Just get us to talk
Right.
and correct us along the way, which is fine. That's why I'm there to learn. And practice, I go out and about. I practice, I used to go to all these places and practice and talk to anyone I knew in Mandarin. The best key of advice I would give is practice, practice, practice.
Okay. But do you feel like since you are an auditorial learner that the program has built a structured lesson plan for you based off of that?
Well, obviously you have to learn characters, so that's the visual aspect of it.
Right.
The fact that I get, I guess, the auditory part through music and through just talking to my teachers. They know I'm a
Okay.
learner, and that's the way they kind of help me learn throughout that process. So I've had many tools along the way. If I'm learning a song, for example, I
Hmm.
read the lyrics and I kind of try to memorize the songs, and it helps me learn the characters. So a
Right.
lot that's helped me a lot for sure.
That's perfect. Okay. And let's see, where do you see yourself in maybe 5 years down the road with your Chinese journey? What is
I
your goal and where do you see it going?
hope that this gets me to a point where I get to create that culture bridge. And I get to be to a point where we don't have those stigmas anymore and we're just able to communicate. And even without the language barrier, we should be in a point of state of mind where we're all in this one world together. And I hope that using my videos, I can get to inspire kids out there to learn English in China and for us to learn Mandarin and to have those mediums of communication using technology these days and make it happen and create more songs, write more songs, bilingual songs for kids to learn, make more videos out there and to be an inspiration to others.
More resources. Okay.
That's for
All
sure.
right. Well, you're already inspiring me and I'm already interested. So,
Thank you.
okay. Do you have anything that you would like to say that you prepared or any tips or anything?
And I would say is do what you love, use the tools that you need that you do what you love. So if you're doing with the teachers, which is great, you do an hour a day. I do an hour a day, for example. Every morning at 7 o'clock I have my Chinese lesson. It comes into your routine and then learn some songs, watch TV shows, whatever you like to do, implement that within your learning abilities, within your resources that you have. And one piece of advice I would give also when you're learning a language, think in that language. So when I first started to learn Mandarin, I had to first see myself, no, I'm not going to think in English anymore. The grammar is different. Everything else is different. I know it's hard at first, and don't be afraid as well. Don't be afraid to practice it. You're going to make mistakes at first, but the best way to learn language is to talking to people, for sure.
Right. That's great. So you suggest an hour a day, or is that what you find works best for you?
That's what has helped me a lot because it took me in 3 months, I was able to move to China and to actually speak in Mandarin there. Obviously, my characters weren't quite there yet. I did HSK. I did pretty well at it. I'm go to my HSK next level, of course. I'm not level 6 yet, but I'll
Mhm.
get there through my teachers and their
Are you
help.
at level 5 currently?
Not yet.
Okay.
Well, speaking wise, I'm fluent, so I wouldn't have a problem doing any level at this point. It's just that character wise, I'm learning 5 new characters a day to help me get to where I want to be. I know right now I text using Chinese, I post on Chinese social medias using characters. So of course I'm gonna get there for sure. So for sure.
Okay. That's fantastic. All right, Caroline, I don't want to take up your entire evening. That was very fantastic. Would you like to say goodbye in your best Chinese?
Yeah, for sure. 再见，再见，很高兴认识你。我很喜欢学中文，我爱中国，我爱中国人，我爱我的中文的老师，我爱 eChineseLearning Learning。再见。
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank
再见.
you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bye bye.